Have you ever wondered, how do I identify the most impactful improvement projects? Have you asked yourself, how do I know I'm providing a service that is truly valuable? And would you like to know about a lean tool that can answer those questions and help you align your improvement efforts with TCO's strategic direction? Get ready for Value Stream Mapping. It produces a value stream map, or VSM for short. A value stream map is a sequence of actions required to create value for the customer. Before we learn more about value stream mapping, it would be good to understand how this process fits into the world of Lean. If you remember from our Lean Principles video, we outlined 5 principles that guide the Lean philosophy. 1. Specify value in the eyes of the customer. 2 is to identify the value stream and eliminate waste. For 3, you must make value flow at the pull of the customer. Principle number 4 is involve and empower employees. And 5, continuously improve in pursuit of perfection. While creating a VSM, you'll identify how your product or service flows at the pull of the customer, and you'll definitely be involving and empowering team members you work with. Another thing to understand is how the Lean methodology defines value. To help us, let's consider value as it relates to a term known as the 3 C's. The 3 C's stand for the following ideas. 1. The customer cares about what is being done. 2. Changes are made to the product or service that flows through your business. And 3. It's correctly done, meaning you did things right the first time around. When you satisfy all 3 C's, you can realize value as Lean defines it. There are 7 steps to follow in creating a VSM. For the lunch order process, the first step is identifying the scope of the value stream map. For our example, we determined the scope included all activities required to plan, produce, and provide a lunch. It starts with the customer's order and concludes when the order is served. The second step is to identify the VSM team lead and participants. It is important to have a team lead who owns all or most of the process being mapped. Another key is to involve participants that contribute to every action performed throughout the value stream. Once a team is formed, you will conduct a tour where the work is being done. This means you will have to go see and document how the work is currently being performed. This is the third step. It helps make sure that all team participants can see the whole process. You can expect some aha moments during this activity. The remaining steps will be covered as we create the VSM. For the fourth step, the team will map the process and gather key data. This is where the VSM starts to be drawn. All value stream maps begin with the customer on the far right side of the paper or whiteboard and the supplier of raw materials or services on the far left side. Everything that gets drawn in between those 2 boxes represents the value stream. In the 5th step, you identify the value stream. The team pays careful attention to how the product or process aligns with the corporate strategy and the critical path of the stream. In our lunch order example, the raw food is delivered from the wholesale food company and placed in inventory. The next activity is to prep the raw food, after which it is placed back in inventory. When the customer submits his or her order, the lunch is made and waits to be plated and delivered or served to the customer. The sequence of activities defines the value stream. Data is also an important piece of a VSM. Let's add some more information to the lunch order value stream map. The triangles on a VSM represent inventory. In this case, we know how much raw food is delivered from the wholesale food company. We place that data below the first triangle. Information about how many people are needed to perform each activity is placed within each activity box. Next, we place key metric information about each activity in the data boxes below each square. The analysis of this data is how the team will ultimately be able to identify potential areas for improvements. Cycle time information is placed on the up-down timeline at the bottom of the VSM. This shows how long food waits in inventory and how long each activity step takes to complete. The total for the entire process is represented in the last box at the end of the timeline. Teams will use historical data to determine how often customers will place an order for lunch. The data for our example shows that every 9 minutes, an order will need to be served. This is called takt time. It is calculated by dividing the available time by the customer demand. Finally, arrows and lines represent how the various material and information streams flow. The large solid arrows between the wholesale food company and the inventory triangle are called shipping arrows. The dashed arrows between each activity are called push arrows. Thinner lightning bolt type arrows represent electronic data that is sent or shared, and the thinner solid arrows represent the flow of written or orally communicated information. At step 6, the current state value stream map has been created. For the 7th and final step, the team will use the VSM they created to identify the waste in the process. It is from these identified areas of waste that you develop action plans or projects that will ultimately eliminate the waste and improve the process. Teams create a 2B VSM to help show all the improvements that can be realized from the current VSM. No matter what level of VSM you use, the outcome should always be the same: to identify improvement opportunities that will eliminate waste and provide value-added product and services to your customers. And that's something that can have a real and lasting value for you and your company.